Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the life and suffering of Sir Brante as we continue on our childhood. We've tended so far to be quite a perceptive child, so it'll be interesting to see what other events will get thrown at us and how we continue to develop the life of Morgan Bronte and hopefully avoid as much suffering as we can. But you never know. Gloria's rhymes. This is relating to our sister Gloria, in case you haven't remembered. Mother mostly stays in her chambers now. With each passing day she grows heavier, and her features get rounder. It gets difficult for her to walk, but she still smiles all the time. One day she takes her hands and puts them on her big belly, and you feel a movement deep inside her. You will have another brother or sister soon. Oh, that's quite good actually, I forgot about that. Gloria takes you on walks to the yard now. You explore the yard together, under the evening light of the pillar, and she sings you songs and tells you amazing stories. Hey Morgan, do you want to hear a rhyme? I wrote it myself. There's even a bit about you, but don't tell anyone, okay? Writing poems and songs is only for nobles. If Mommy hears it, I'll get flogged. Remember how you got flogged for hitting Stefan? Our judge is my second father. In the past, I had another. Mother says the twins are great, says we should not fight our fate. Brother loves to jump around, please don't fall down on the ground. See, I wrote a little rhyme. Please don't tell them it is mine. That's quite nice. But today your sister is nowhere to be seen. She promised to take you to the old pond and show you the red frogs that lived there, but then she vanished. The servants join you in your search. Even Mother leaves her chambers when she hears the commotion. Finally, you find Gloria in the far corner of the garden. She's holding a quill and sheets of paper covered in poetry. Oh dear. Mother becomes angry the moment she sees it. She looks through the poetry and her face grows dark with rage. Gloria is standing before her, wringing her hands and looking for an opportunity to run, but there seems to be no escape. What is this nonsense, Gloria? We talked about this. You were told to take care of your little brother. You are absolutely not allowed to entertain yourself with this writing. I can decide that for myself, Mom. No, you cannot. It has already been decided by the gods. And he's not a little brother anymore. He doesn't need a nanny, and I need some time alone to think for myself. I'm hurting. I'm not hurting anyone. You are a commoner and a future wife. It's time you learned how to properly care for children. Had your disgraceful former father kept me in his house, you could have been born a noble, but that is not our fate. And you are absolutely forbidden from ever spoiling paper and wasting ink again. Mother grabs Gloria firmly by the hand and takes you both into the house. The scribbled sheets fly into the fireplace. Gloria sobs violently. You are a bystander to the scene, unsure of how to act. So we could do nothing and leave the room, but we're not going to do that. I can comfort my sister or offer to write rhymes with her, which will get us more into trouble. You see, I'm quite undecided because the character I want to play is somebody who's quite religious. And if he was really religious and follow the laws, he wouldn't go against his lot and stick to being a commoner. But also there's an opportunity we've been told for us to advance our lot. I think if I comfort my sister, it'll improve our relationship. But so I think offering to write rhymes with her as well. I think we've already been flogged once so far. Let's not get into trouble and encourage her, but let's just comfort her and make sure she's okay. We test the waters, but not a lot. Mother leaves. The last of your sister's poetry burns away in the fireplace. You walk up to your crying sister, and take her by the hand. None of this is her fault, you say. What Mother did is wrong and far too harsh. Gloria sniffles before speaking. But I did leave you all alone. You're not mad at me, really? You nod in reassurance. Gloria embraces you. Morgan, you're the best little brother in the world. Nice. She is now grateful. It's interesting actually that it says that she has never met her real father, and yet our mother just said that if her father had been a real man, she could have been a noble. So we have to keep that in mind. The two of you make a little deal. She promises to tell you when she wants to be alone, and you promise to protect her and her secrets always. So she's grateful. But our willpower has gone down and we're exhausted. That's not good. Phew, a little sip of tea. Fast forwarding another year. We're 4 years old. The year 1122, winter, the coming sacrament. Mother is in her armchair, knitting woolen jackets, pants, and socks for the little one. The baby will need to be kept warm, she says. Father spends less time at home now. Mother says he's very busy with his important job. He is a judge after all. We haven't really had too much interaction with our father yet, which is a bit of a shame. But I wonder if we had a chosen father as the one we reached out to early on, that might have changed. But you never know. I might do another playthrough and choose all the more difficult options that I didn't choose. One day you decide to ask Mother about Stefan and Gloria. How come they are brother and sister to you, but not siblings to each other? Well, my dear, I didn't give birth to Stefan, you see. He's the son of another mother, and Gloria is the daughter of another father. Come now, don't knit your brow like that. You'll understand when you're older. How is that even possible? You're all family, are you not? Several days later, Mother calls Stefan and Gloria to the sitting room. You sneak in after them. At first, Mother gets angry and asks you to leave, but then she relents. You're told to sit still, be quiet, and remember every word you hear. Ooh. When you enter the temple, bow to the twins, first to the elder on the right, then to the younger on the left. Stefan, you're a nobleman to be, so walk along the side paved with marble, where the benches are. Gloria, you walk along the sharp side. So elder right, young left. When you are there, you must get down on your knees. I'm actually going to write some of this down because I have a feeling it's going to come in handy later on. When you're there, you must get down on your knees, each on your own side. Stefan kissed the sword. Gloria, my daughter, they will strike you with a lash. Don't be afraid of it. Resign yourself to the suffering it brings. It is the blessing of your lot. Seems really quite harsh, to be honest. We'll be lashed as well, I guess, for our sacrament, whatever that is. Gloria doesn't like the idea of the lash. There's a tense feeling in your chest as well. You are told to remember this. Will the lash strike you too one day? Hope not. On the next day, they take your brother and sister to the temple. You run towards them when they finally come back. The back of Gloria's dress is soaked with blood. She's hunched a bit, sobbing quietly. Stefan is putting on airs, acting prouder than ever. Nothing else looks different about them. It's like all is the same, and yet everything has changed. Each of them has accepted their lot. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do the same. Our relations have gone down. That's not good. And the family unity has gone down. I imagine Stefan has gone down because he thinks himself better of me. But we might prove him wrong yet. And there are no disagreements. There isn't as much unity. In the year 1122, brother and sister sacrament. Your siblings, Stefan and Gloria, took their first sacrament at the temple. The newborns cry. You eye the little bundle in your father's arms with curiosity. Behind the many layers of swaddling clothes is your newborn baby brother. Mother is glowing and smiling with joy. Stefan and Gloria are also here, all excited. You promise yourself you're going to be the best big brother in the world. You'll never hit him, oh no, the two of you will play together, and tease Stefan together, and help Mother together, and go on so many adventures together. It feels so strange to be an older brother. Just the other day you were the youngest in the family, but everything is different now. Your parents name your little brother Nathan, and Mother spends day and night by his side, and Nathan cries all the time, day and night. Mother barely gets any sleep. She is so worn out, she starts forgetting things, Like today, for instance, she forgot her knitting in the armchair in the sitting room. You better bring it back to her as soon as possible. You run to Mother's bedroom. You miss her smile so much. You walk in without saying hello and give her the knitting, but instead of gratitude, you get an ice-cold, exhausted stare. Nathan is also there, screaming all the time. Go away, Morgan. You are bothering me. She spits these words out through her teeth. You look at the bawling newborn. She can't even get a minute of respite. Enough already. When are you going to stop? I just want some peace and quiet. Mother leaps across the room and starts shaking Nathan with malice in her eyes. His cries get even louder. She looks so tired from this never-ending screams. She seems to be within an inch of smashing him against the wall. Somebody has to do something. You are scared of your mother right now, but you fear for Nathan's life much more. Oh dear. And we don't have the willpower. Well, I don't have the relations with my mom for this one, and I don't have the personality for this. If I hadn't have helped my sister, I would have been able to do this. So I can redirect her anger to me, or call my father for help. Oh, if I run to mother, if I run to father, I think she might kill him. If I redirect her anger, let's redirect her anger. You try your best to bring her back to her senses. Oh God. The newborns cry. Mother keeps shaking Nathan violently, and you cannot stay away any longer. He is no longer bawling, he is shrieking. Just leave me alone! But then out comes your voice, so loud it drowns out their cries. No, it's not Nathan's fault, Mother. You're just tired. Please don't do anything to my little brother. If you have to punish someone, punish me instead. He's too young, he won't understand. We did say we'd be the best big brother in the world. Your mother freezes and looks at you, her eyes two narrow slits. Her stare is cold and full of pure wrath, so pure you can't help but recoil in fear. Are you trying to teach me how to take care of a child? Are you giving me lessons on calming a newborn baby? Your insolent, insipid, nagging know-it-all. It's time you learned your place. She puts Nathan on the bedsheets, then moves toward you. You step back, but a closed door blocks your way. She slaps you across the face. Your ears ring from the heavy blow, and your cheek burn from her wrath. You wince and close your eyes, expecting a second slap, but nothing comes. Nothing but Mother's heavy breath and Nathan's shrill cries. Then there is a knock at the door. You step aside. Father walks in. He looks at you clutching a reddened cheek, at the bawling baby, at Mother, her eyes red with rage and tears, her breath heavy and ragged. Go to your room, son. I'll join you soon. You do as you're told. Back in your room, you press your aching cheek against the cold window, hurt and dazed by what just happened. Soon enough, Nathan stops crying. You hear Father's heavy footsteps in the hallway. He comes into your room and sits on the bed next to you. Son, please do not be angry with your mother. The twins know she wishes nobody any harm. This is a difficult time for her, but we will make it through as a family. You stepped up to protect your brother. You acted like a little nobleman today. I'm proud of you. Your mother and Nathan are resting now. How bad does it hurt? Well, that's good. Determination has gone up anyway. You shake your head. Not bad, but your hand still aches to clutch the cheek. Father embraces you with a sorrowful smile and gingerly pats you on the head as you press your forehead into his housecoat. Things grow calm now. The trouble has passed, and you are quietly happy. Whew. Well, that worked out better than I thought, but still. Maybe I should be more selective about taking the options I choose. I could have done better if I hadn't have helped my sister. But anyway, your younger brother Nathan is born. Another sip of tea to gather myself after that. 5 years. So it looks like we're going to have another 3 more events after this. The Ant Farm. This event is a consequence of your previous actions. Perception is greater than 4. Your younger brother Nathan is growing. Mother spends more time with the rest of the family now. You help her and play with your brother and take care of him when she asks. You often go to Mother's room to sit at the foot of her bed after Nathan falls asleep. She reads you the sacred books and asks you about the things you learned that day. During these moments, you see the world through her eyes as well. One day, the door of your room opens and she brings in a large box covered with a piece of cloth. It is rare for you to see her so overjoyed. She sets the box down on the floor and removes the cloth. The box under the cloth is made of glass and has a wooden base. Inside you see a layer of earth shaped into carefully crafted passages, and these passages are full of hard-working ants. Morgan, this is my gift to you, an ant farm. It is a little world in a small box. We can watch them through the glass. Look, this is the queen ant. She is the reason all these little ants were born. You sit by the box together. You hold your breath as you watch the ant colony at work. There turns out to be a method of the ants' chaotic movement. Every single one of them has a task to perform. Some of them have larger mandibles. They are the protectors of the colony. They can draw blood from your finger. Others work all around the colony, repairing the walls and clearing any debris from the passages. There are also workers who collect food. You put in a special tray, leaves, bits of meat, maggots, and bring it to the rest of the colony. You take a worker ant and put it right next to the food. However, the insect has no interest in it. It starts circling around the tray aimlessly. Mother takes the stray ant and puts it back where it belongs. Why did you do that, my son? The ants cannot do what they weren't born to do. Each of them was born to do their own job. No subtleties there. You shake your head slowly. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to do. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Or maybe Mother's presence is the reason they won't obey you. So, do I play by myself? Ask Mother to leave me alone? Or you offer to go outside together and find some bugs to feed the ants? This is again harping back to how I want to play this character. Do I want him to stay in his lot, or do I want him to try and work outside it? Oh, I don't know. If only the ants could do whatever you wanted them to do. This is your gift now, so they belong to you. Let's keep playing with Mother. I really want to play by myself, but I think the character I'm crafting so far would keep playing with his mother. Oh. Oh, I don't want the alpha man to leave me alone. Mother's luck is full of warmth and love. Nathan, Gloria, and Father are away right now. For the first time in a long while, it is just the two of you, and Mother takes great joy in watching over the ant farm. She shares her knowledge of the world with you. The things she tells you are true. You move closer to her and suggest going outside and finding some bugs for the ants. She agrees to this happily and holds your hand as you leave the house. Soon as you are busy catching bugs and sharing your thoughts on how the ants will feed the colony with them. From time to time you laugh together, making up stories about errant flies and caterpillars overthrowing the ant kingdom. Good. You and your mother hold hands as you return to your room. She can't help but smile. It is a faint smile, a child's smile, a smile full of sunlight. You are so happy to have seen the world through her eyes today. Good, willpower's back to normal. I think also making decisions that require me to exert willpower will also bring it down. Toy soldiers. You walk up to your father's torch on your shoulder. Sorry, you wake up to father's touch on your shoulder. Oh my god. He is finally back home after a long trip. Morgan, today is your special day, the day when you begin your studies. Now teachers will be coming to our home to teach you, and you must do everything they say. Be diligent in your studies, and you will grow closer to the nobleman's lot. And since you must remember this day, a present is in order. Lydia, get our little schoolboy dressed. I am taking him to the market district. Stefan wants to come with you too, but father shushes him sternly. This is your day. Your elder brother is hurt to hear this, but stays quiet. An open carriage takes the two of you through the dusty, noisy city streets, a pleasant wind tussling your hair. Your city is called Anazot. That you already know. It is one of the largest cities in the entire empire. There's a big shadow on the street. It comes from the white foliage of an enormous tree that spreads its branches all above the city. My son, did you know that the silver tree grew from the blood of our gods' own disciples? It has been growing here for hundreds of years, right in our city. It cannot be damaged or burned. Not even the clergy know why. The carriage comes to a halt by a small shop next to a city square. You run there and freeze by the stalls in excitement. The shop is packed with dolls and figurines and toys. You've never seen so many at once before. Have you chosen your present yet? Father asks. You have. You want the Holy Order set, which includes several figurines of the Empire's greatest warriors of all time. You rattle off everything you know about the Holy Order. They were the ones who aided the Emperor's own forces in seizing the province of Magra and storming our city. That's how we joined the Empire. Father nods in approval. Very well. War isn't your lot for now, but maybe these toy soldiers will teach you to think like a general. We will lead them into battle and study military strategy. Go ahead, take your present. Having said this, Father turns away to examine the books. You run to the box of toy soldiers, delirious with excitement. But there's a fancy-dressed boy in your way. He's about to take your warriors for himself. He elbows you aside and reaches for the box. Anger overcomes you and you push him from behind. Your opponent falls to the floor. The rich boy screams so loudly everybody in the shop hears it. He hit me! He hit me! A tall tower of a man leans over you. This is the boy's father. But then you feel your own father's hands on your shoulders. What happened? You press against father, your mind more at ease now. He will protect you. Yes, you shove the boy to the floor in front of everyone, but he tried to take your present for himself. Father turns you around to face him when he hears these words. Is it true, Morgan? Did you strike the son of a nobleman? Oh dear. So, I'm not going to deny my guilt. You tell father that you repaid the imprudent boy in kind, or admit my guilt. But isn't telling him the truth the same thing as admitting my guilt? I mean, the question father is asking me isn't what happened. Well, he did ask me that earlier on, but he's asking me right now, did I strike the son of a nobleman? Which I did. I love how I can just rule out one option, but then the last two always give me the struggle. You tell father that you repaid the impudent boy in kind. I mean, was he impudent? Or I step up and accept that I'm guilty. Which means I'm probably going to get lashed, and will no doubt reduce my willpower. I'm kind of leaning towards tell him the truth. And saving my willpower for something else, maybe. Yeah, let's tell him the truth. Oh dear. It isn't fair to blame you without letting you speak too. You didn't want to shove that stupid boy. He was the one who shoved you first. But the angry nobleman, the boy's father, will not let you finish. Nobody cares a whit for your so-called truth, little lowborn. The law is the law, and your punishment is due. Your father nods in agreement to these words, no matter how sad they may make him. This leads you and the nobleman's son out of the shop. You are told to bow to him and show humility. A bad feeling sends a shiver down your spine. With a satisfied grin on his face, the boy swings his arm and slaps you on the cheek. He strikes you again and again. I guess that would have happened either way anyway. Enough! He got what he deserved. We're leaving. Get out of our way. Your head is swimming from the heavy blows. You return to your senses back in your bed, with servants treating your face. Father stays by your side all day. Well, that's good. We've improved our determination. The morning after, you find a little box on your bed with the tin soldiers of the Holy Order inside. You paid dearly for your stubbornness. Well, that kind of worked out in our favour. One more year. I think this will be the last one for this video. But I'm really enjoying this game. I'm quite enjoying the subtlety and difficulty in the options. Year 1124, summer, the family dinner. Today, Father ordered the dinner table to be brought out into the yard. For the first time in months, he's home, outside of the confines of his always locked study. He spent the entire day playing with Nathan and you, discussing various matters with Stefan, now an adolescent, and walking in the garden. And now at dinner under the open sky. Your entire family gathers together, with Father at the head of the table, smiling. He asks each of you about your studies. Nathan climbs up on his knee and recites a counting rhyme in a funny, singing song voice. Stefan mentions that his fencing teacher praised his accomplishments. He rises from the table together with Father to show his skill in a practice duel. Next comes Gloria's turn. She stands on her chair and recites a lengthy prayer by heart. Mother showers your sister with praise. Father chuckles quietly, hiding a smile in his moustache. When your turn comes, you recite all the ranks in the Legion, from common soldier to high commander. Stefan listens to you with a skeptical look on his face. Night slowly falls, but the servants ensure that the yard is well illuminated. You don't feel cold in the dusk tonight. It feels good, yet so important. All of you are finally together, sitting at the same table. No fighting, just smiles. No arguing, just pleasant small talk. Then a servant approaches Father with a letter in his hand. Oh dear. He reads it in the dim light, and each line gradually washes the smile off Father's face until only a stone-cold mask remains. Mother looks at Father with an unspoken question in her eyes. Gregor Brante is coming back to Anizot. He is the head of our family, my father. That doesn't sound good. Why did he leave? Grandfather's return, year 1124. Your grandfather, Gregor Brante, returned to the family home from the capital. Ah, we could have done fencing if we had had a determination greater than 4. Very good. Not yet. We did that. And we haven't done that yet. Ah, this is a sacrament. This all makes a bit more sense now. Oh cool, we've got a good chapter timeline. I just want to check our family for a second. He's indifferent to us, okay. The intrusion. Ever since the news of Grandfather's impending arrival, there has not been a single day when the house has not been cleaned or decorated. Your parents anxiously make sure everything is in order. They tell you to wash your face and hands after walks and scold you for leaving books on the floor. They tell Gloria she will be flogged if she is ever seen hiding in the attic. They make Stefan stay in his room. Even baby Nathan gets in trouble. Everyone is on edge. Then one day Grandfather arrives. It is a grim day, so hot your neck is sticky with sweat. Father, Mother, Stefan, Gloria, you and Nathan, the entire Brante family stands on the porch in front of the house. The house servants lined up behind you. The carriage arrives, and out steps a tall, gaunt old man with a heavy walking stick and a heavier gaze. You cringe instinctively. Good health to you, Father. Children, greet your grandfather as you have been taught. Still trying to look like a real nobleman, are you? You can't fool me, Robert. I was the first of the Brante family to be ennobled by the mantle, and I'm the only one who remembers how to bear this burden properly. I live honourably by my lot. Your marriage to that low-born wench cuts us off from ever becoming nobles of the sword. My progeny could have been born bearing noble blood. Father, I beg you, this is not the place. Grandfather's eyes fill with scorn and walks into the house, the entire family following him close behind. I've been away far too long. The entire house is a mess. This is an insult. How can you live in such a pigsty, Robert? The servants have grown far too lazy, all thanks to your commoner of a wife. I warned you, did I not? And yet you did as you saw fit. And the children, what do they know of tradition or honour? They are being raised in a virtuous family, father. And now you're speaking like a lowborn who's content to live in humility. Twins willing, now that I'm here, this will not happen again. I am taking your oldest son to the capital. I see you cannot provide Stefan with a proper education, so I will correct your mistake. Your brother's fate has been decided just like that. Father does not object. He orders the servants to prepare Stefan for the journey. Stefan freezes in place, glancing at grandfather and father again and again. The latter puts a hand on his shoulder reassuringly. Grandfather's lips are a tight line, white with contempt. The house is examined room after room. Everything grandfather sees is showered with scorn. He scoffs at a crease on a blanket in Nathan's crib in mother's bedroom. He mocks Gloria's knitting in her room. The door to your room is next. What is this, Robert? Tin soldiers in your younger son's room. He was born a commoner. I won't have him daydreaming of battle. Oh God. Damn it. Sorry. Grandfather seizes the box containing the tin warriors of the Holy Order. Your father stays silent. Anger and fear boil within you. This is your big present from the first day of your studies. It means so much to you. But what if he's right? One of you need to prove you're right to command the toy soldiers first. Grandfather shakes his head in disapproval and shoves the toy box into the roaring fireplace. If you wait too long, they will melt into the flames. Oh, I would really like to rescue the tin soldiers. I'm not going to burst into tears. I'm either going to watch them melt helplessly, because grandfather is right, or I strike him. The thing I fear is that if I strike him, I might get killed. This seems like the kind of world where that might happen. But then I'm also thinking, maybe if I strike him, he will see I am of warrior's blood and better off going with him to the capital than Stefan. But I don't think he strikes me as that kind of person, really. I mean, it could happen, but I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll want to kill me. Let's just watch them helplessly burn. Oh dear, maybe father will buy me some more later on. The wood crackles, the tin melts. The unpleasant smell of burning paint fills the room. Father grimly orders the servants to douse the fire and clean the mess that was your birthday present just a few moments ago. Perception's gone up and willpower has gone good, which is good. So I think we can do 2 actions now. You watch the servants at work with a strange fascination, experiencing an odd feeling of freedom. It all seems right now. It's time for you to grow up. Grandfather leaves to examine the other rooms of the house. Whew. Decisions are much more tougher than they were in the last part. Soon grandfather leaves. Your elder brother Stefan goes with him. From that day on, father's hired teachers tend to you alone. They bore you with monotonous lecturing on writing, counting, and the way of life in the blessed Arachnean Empire. You often distract yourself from their destruction by playing with your younger brother Nathan. Year 1124, Fall, the master of the house. Your home grows quiet without your elder brother. Too quiet. Weeks later, your family receives a letter from Stefan. Grandfather has sent him to a boarding school for nobles, and he is now studying hard in preparation for his service as a nobleman. The rules here are way too strict. You can't even sneeze without the teacher's permission. But I've been studying with my peers. We're learning how to live as nobles in a noble society. We're also learning the art of swordplay. That's my favourite part. With Stefan, now at the boarding school, grandfather arrives once more, this time to live in your home. The only good thing is that he often has urgent business in Eterna, the capital of the empire, and has to travel there. One day you ask mother where he lived before. In Eterna, she says, but now his place is here. Each time grandfather returns, he gives the servants new orders. Your home is now always busy with repairs. The servants are redecorating grandfather's chambers, including his library and sitting room. Sometimes father tries to gently talk him out of this. Why subject the house to constant reconstruction? Grandfather's answer is always the same. This home is mine, and I will live here as befits a man of the nobility. And let's leave it there for now with an illustrious guest. I wonder who that's going to be. So I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe if you chose different decisions, let me know. So look forward to the next part. Take care and have a nice day.